final Super Sunday match day of the season. To finish the show, we've asked Darren and Jonathan to select their teams and manager of the season. Jonathan, I'm going to start with you. So let's see the team in full then. You've gone for David Raya in goal. Back four of Kieran Trippier, John Stones, Ruben Dias and Luke Shaw. Then the Manchester City duo of Rodri and Gundogan in midfield with Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, Harry Kane and Erling Haaland making up the forward areas. Pep Guardiola is your manager of the season. So, no Kevin De Bruyne. That's my first question.
I know. Yeah,
How could you do that?
Well, and look, I love Kevin De Bruyne. I think anyone who loves football loves Kevin De Bruyne. He's one of the best players I've ever seen play in the Premier League, and it does feel faintly ridiculous to leave him out. But being fair, I don't think this has been his vintage season at all. He's produced a lot of assists, but partly because Haaland's been so fantastic, he's made them into assists. But I mean, they've been brilliant passes. But I think if you look at who's been important to City, Rodri, and then in the run-in, in particular, Gundogan. And I just wanted to pick Gundogan, really. It came down to those two. I just wanted to pick Gundogan because I think he's still an underappreciated player. He is so tactically clever. He can do any role that Pep Guardiola asks. When he needs him to score goals, as we can see, he can craft brilliant finishes.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Incredible skill. Drifting the right position.
Yes.
He can play much deeper, he can do the tactical role. I was there when he broke the record for most passes in the Premier League game, and most touches recently against Leeds. He's a purist. We talked about Modric earlier on. I think he's a kind of Modric for Manchester City. And it's a reason why I'm still very keen to keep him, even though he's into his 30s now. And he's got options, but what a player he's been. So, sorry, De Bruyne, Kevin.
Look at the screen. Do you see that? Look.
Yeah. No, but you have to put Gundogan in there.
What's wrong?
He
No! I'm trying to do a YouTube video and you're shouting at me!
I think Brentford have been fantastic this season, and obviously Ivan Toney is their kind of figurehead, but I think the other player that sums them up is David Raya. I mean, I've never seen a goalkeeper adopt a more bold starting position when they don't have the ball. He's practically in the position all the time. And it just shows that sort of front foot style. If you look at the stats, most saves, best save percentage, one of the best passing sort of stats as well in the league. He's a great story because he's worked hard in English football. He could come Spain.
Come on, Andrew Tate on looks. Come on, mate. Come on. I'll show ahead for you now.
Yeah, I just think he's wonderful, and there'll be a lot of clubs looking at signing him.
Finally, you've gone for Pep as your manager of the season. Was that an obvious choice, do you think? Or
Yes and no. I mean, I think Pep's gone to another level this season. I know what he's done with John Stones, how he's developed Jack Grealish, how he's managed the run-in. I think it has to be him. But one thing that strikes me is how many brilliant managerial performances we've had this season. De Zerbi, Unai Emery, Gary O'Neill, Thomas Frank. It's been a season of outstanding. In a season when they will be getting sacked, there's been some really outstanding performances. But Pep's not the best, and he's the best in the world.
yeah, I would put Roy Hodgson in that as well in terms of what he's just done in such a short space of time. Okay, let's go to you, young man. Let's look at your team in full then. So you
Keep
have.
calling me young man, you can do it.
Park the
You've
Williams
got Paul
and
Newcastle
Gustav.
in goal
Walker,
with
De
Carl
Bruyne,
Walker, John
Caicedo,
Stones, William
Odegaard,
Saliba,
Kent, Salah and
Alexander
Haaland.
Zinchenko all in defence. In midfield, you've
No
got
Saka.
Kevin De Bruyne, Moises
No
Caicedo
Saka.
and Martin Odegaard.
No
And
Saka,
you've got
wow,
set
that's
three
good.
of Mo Salah, Harry Kane, and
No
Erling
Saka,
Haaland. And your
wow.
manager of the season, Brighton's
No
Roberto
Saka, what
De
you
Zerbi.
put.
So let's talk about De Bruyne then. He's in your team.
Yes. And he's in my team because I like watching footballers who make the game easy to play. And he is just such a beautiful player, balletic almost to watch. His vision is outstanding. He reminds me a lot of Dennis Bergkamp in so much as wherever you are on the field, he can find you with a pass. In some instances, he makes a striker's life better because he can play a ball into a position of maximum opportunity, if you like. And I just think that sometimes in this sport we suffer a little bit from recency bias, very often actually, not just in football. it's. I think his heart De Bruyne is concerned with his trajectory and the way he's projected. This game, all this long,
Lindsay. I bet Leslie will have a go at water.
But it was the vision of the past to see them not fighting that was so outstanding, and that's why I think he deserves to be in my team. But I can understand why there are other players, and some, maybe you could easily see that as an obvious pick, but sometimes you have to go with the obvious ones.
For me, I think he's the sort of player that actually was in around the game. I literally couldn't keep my eyes off Kevin De Bruyne, and I was actually missing some of the other play because I was watching what he does off the ball. And for me, he's that player that he's just got it all. I just, like I say, if you love football, you can't help but watch him.
I think he does have a role, and
She's holding you to account.
I know,
just a
God.
little bit, yeah. I can't believe I'm arguing against Kevin De Bruyne. He can do something that others can't. I just don't think he's been
Longest video ever for me.
He's not had a brilliant season by his standards.
standards, yeah.
But would you argue?
You can watch this if you can
Very
watch
quickly, would you
Robots for
argue
half
that
an
that's
hour.
because of the way that Guardiola's
Watch this
managed it?
as well.
Because you're right, and I
Better
agree.
as well.
The management of the entire City squad is the reason why they're in such good conditions to be able to complete the treble, because he's been in and out of the side, and that's by, I think, being by design rather than because he wasn't as good as he has been. Now we're seeing him come to the boil, and they destroy, for example, Real Madrid. Why did they do that? Because he's almost trained racehorse trainers to train horses to peak for specific races or at specific
Yeah,
horses.
that sounds
That's what Guardiola's done with De Bruyne and the rest of the City team.
I didn't realise how well, in a way, they managed the squad. So I looked at the stats, and only 2 outfield players from City played more than 20, started more than 28 games. Only
Wow.
2 of them.
Yeah.
It shows he does keep them. But if you
That
remember,
management is remarkable, isn't it? Rotation to know when to play and when to keep.
Barnes was chef led. Oh.
But then we go, oh, okay, it's what he's got.
And there's an argument saying it's the reason why Arsenal is title